Hey guys, so let's continue with the next routes. So we still need to fix the old post to get a post and the get post to get the individual post according to the ID that the client is going to send. But of course we're going to test that with postman. So let's make the first request here that is going to take is going to receive, sorry, all the posts. So let's say constant, and now we have the what the hell posts. We have now the model inside here, so we can just say await, okay, because this is an async function. So await post that find, and we add just an object. So this is going to look for everything. We can even skip this object, I think, so this should return everything and response that the status is going to be 200, okay, JSON, and we send the data object and posts. So my server is running, so let's save this and go here and say API. Let's not say a post request, this is a get request, and let's send. Okay, so you can see we received two, the first post and the second post that we added last time. So that is working correctly. It's pretty easy just to get everything. And we will add pagination. Okay, we will remove this in a second and add pagination. So let's continue with this one. And it's not that hard. The only thing that could make us have some problems is the update post, but that should be straightforward. So these two, the get all post and get post, are pretty easy. So let's say constant post await again. We use the post model and find by, and we pass the request params, not patams but params ID. So we're going to look for the ID, because remember that getPost is going to expect to have this parameter called ID, so this should match to what I'm looking for here. Okay, so response status. Okay, we can also check that using the handler, because this is a promise, so we can wrap this inside our handle again and check if post. Well, let's do that. So let's actually do that. So let's say handle, for you to get used to some error handling, and we need to change this to say let post and post error. So also you can do that here, because this is also a promise. Okay, so let's well, you can add it here. So okay, what we need to do now is to check if the post is set. Let's see if this works. If post error, then we send a response status of 500, and else we send a status of 200 with the post, just like that. So let's save this and let's see if it works, and fuck it, let's just do it here. Also, we have the helper for a reason, so let's do this and let's see if that also works. So let me just copy all this and paste it. So I didn't change this, so let's change it to a variable and let post and comma post error, just like that. And we add an S to this, and we add the S, and we add posts. Okay, so this should work, and let's go and let's see if our handler works with this kind of promises. That should be a promise, so let's take a look. So again, the get, we receive that, and you remember that we need to say here, so let me go to this one, sorry, index, so it's post and ID. So if we make a get request to post an ID of, let me get this ID, so this should return that one, send, you can see that it returns that one. If I say 3 again, inside that, we return inside the data the message with a that says cast error, cast to object ID failed for value, blah blah blah. You can see that I added a 3 there that it shouldn't be there. Okay, so if I remove that and make a get request, we get the values. Okay, so that is working. And okay, with a new update of VS Code, seems that it's slower and it's taking, since I have another instance of VS Code in my other screen, then it's taking quite a bit to load sometimes. Not much, but yeah, it's consuming quite some resources. So yeah, sometimes you will see this kind of blank screen, so it takes a little bit to load. Well, it's the software, so they can do whatever they want, but I feel that it's becoming kind of slower or needs more resources in order to load several files. So let's see, we have already all post and get post, and we edited that. So it uses our helper or promise handler, okay, that we check if there's an error or not, instead of using the try catch, because let's be honest, who uses try catch now? If we can handle promises in an easier way, so you can also use try catch, of course, but with this kind of error handling, is easier for us to use the new syntax of JavaScript, and is simpler, or is similar to that, so you can do whatever you want, of course. Now we got those two, okay, in less than 10 minutes, so this is pretty quick, as you can see. Now let's actually delete a post, and then on the last video for this I'm going to add the update, okay, because we're going to do some testing, so this video shouldn't be that long, maybe less than 15 or 20 minutes, okay, so you can check that pretty easily. And well, let's delete the post. So we have this delete, we need to go to delete ID, and you can see we're handling the delete HTTP verb, okay, so we need to pass with our clients the delete request, okay, we are not going to pass a post request, we are not going to do that lazy shit that is passing post request with some crap, okay, we're going to use the actual things we need to use, okay. So let's say delete, and we're going to do something here. Let post cover, okay. We might be kind of blind here, but I will explain. And once we connect the clients, okay, either React or Angular, we're going to see how this works in more detail. So, but I just want to make the API, leave that working in case you have another project that you want to connect with this, or that you want to do yourself. So if in case you are only interested inside, I mean about the API, you just have that in the channel so you can play with it. So we're going to say let post cover that is going to be the cover. So let's wait for that, and let's say post and post error, because if my keyboard wants to work, seems my shift key is not working correctly. So again, we're gonna use our handler because we have that in order to use it. Post find by. Okay, so we say find by ID and request that params that ID. So remember that we are passing the ID here, and we're grabbing the ID. Okay, so let's check, just like we did before, if I changed the name here. So no, sorry, this is a two-part section, so sorry about that. It's post error. If my error, I'm so used to use the shift in case I want to do some camel case and it's not working. I need to change my keyword. So response that status 500. So we're not going to use other errors. We're just going to use 500, say internal server error, and let the client deal with that, because we don't want to give too much information of what is going on. At least in this point is not needed, but we're going to continue using abstraction with our error handling, so we don't provide information that we shouldn't provide. Okay, so it's the same else. Okay, so response status 500, we respond with an internal server error, and we respond with the JSON. And the post error, sometimes, well, this is mostly because we don't find the post. Okay, the post doesn't exist for some reason. The client asks for a post that asks to delete a post that is not existing. So that's the only problem there. Post cover equals to post that cover name. Remember that we are handling files. Post. Okay, as I said, my shift is not working. Okay, so remember that we are handling files, and the first part in this delete request is that we need to find the post with the ID, because we need to get the instance of that image. So if I go here, okay, these are my videos. So if I go, okay, let me just close this and go back here. In uploads, you can see we have this cover dash, and this is the date on which it was actually posted or added. So we need to grab this in order to delete it, because remember that we are inside this server, and we need to grab the file itself. With Firebase, it's going to do the same, but they give you some other tools that you can use. So it's kind of similar to what Firebase storage is doing. So we need to get first the file, because we don't know if the post exists. Sorry, I cannot fucking speak. If the post exists, then we grab the image. So that's the only thing we're using here, we're doing there. And this is the second part, that delete post and delete error. So now we have this post cover, okay, that is not being used. Cover is declared, but it's never read. So this one is, okay. Now we actually look and delete for this await. We use our handle or promise handler and post that find. We use another find and but this time delete. Okay, you can just try to delete that. That should work if you have the ID. Okay, you can also try to make a callback, but let's just do it like this in this kind of two-part functionality so you can see what's going on. So request that params that ID. You know that I don't like to repeat code, but in this case let's leave it like this. So we're checking if delete post error. I see I changed my naming. Okay, that should be it. If delete post error response that status 500 JSON, and we send the data the delete post error for the client to see. Else we say let file path. Okay, so if for some reason we don't find that, okay, for some reason we don't find that, we're going to return an error. And if we find that post that is looking with this find by ID, we're going to say, okay, use this file path that is that uploads plus post cover, okay, and just delete is on link sync. Just delete that because at this point the post is already deleted, but we need to delete the image that was referenced inside that post. So we use this on link and we say response to the status 201. Okay, although this shouldn't be 201, let's say 200. I think it's 203 that it says that a change happened, document change, something like that. You can check the status codes so you can match the status that should be. I think it's 203, but delete post, let's leave it in 200 to say that everything went okay. And we are going to return the post that was deleted. So at this point we still have that in memory, so we just respond with that post, and that should be it. So let's save that and let's minimize this. So let's keep this one maybe around there, and of course we need to say delete to post and this one. Okay, so this should be deleted. Wait a second, let me check inside my index. So it's actually delete, it's not post, it's delete. So let's change this, delete, and the ID of the post send. Okay, and it seems I have a problem, no such file or directory. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, I don't like this flashing that happens. So I forgot just this slash, and let's get all the posts. So you can see we should have. Okay, then the only thing that didn't happen is that it didn't delete the image. So let's actually go back here and say API delete, and let's delete this one so you can see it works. Because the error, okay, let me show you because it's in the console. 100 promise rejection warning error, no such file or directory is trying to unlink uploads, and you see that I forgot the slash to say that this is a directory and this is the file that we are going to delete. So that's why it says there's not a file with that name that you're specifying. And we make a delete request. So localhost 4000 API delete and the ID of that. So let's say send, and we respond with that. Okay, and let's say status 200. So if I do this, you can see that this is the image that was referenced inside the other post, that because of the no file or directory error, you can see the mistake here, because this one is 157367 and it ends with a 94. That is this one. So this one failed to delete because I got the naming wrong. But now it works. So let me just delete this because we don't want to have that. And maybe let's go to, do I have something here? Okay, no, this is for notifications. We're going to check that. I'm going to upload. I have an old, really old notifications with Firebase project, but I really never got the time to record it. So let's say I was going to post. So this should be create. Okay, and let's go to body. Okay, and let me do this again, because again I have a ton of crap that I haven't deleted. I promise I will delete this after I finish recording. So this is just for the last test to see that. Let's say that, and okay, we have this. I already chose a file, so let's send and let's create that. 201 created, and you can see we added a new image. So let's do second post, third post, and let me choose another file. So at this point you can try the same to upload several files, several posts, so you can test that the delete is working. Okay, and send, and we delete that and make a get request and send, and you can see we have two. So at this point, okay, we have two, and we are going to delete one of these, the second post. So let's copy this, let's make a delete request, and let's say delete, because that is the route we're going to check, and send. You can see that it responds with what deleted. Okay, so you can see this is actual link. Okay, I will show you that in a second. So let's take this out of there, so you can see we only have one image. So let's say get all the files or all the documents we have. We have this one, so let me open this one, and let me just move this and grab it, paste it here. So let's remove that because I don't want this to open in a different browser. So you can see why I got this localhost 4000 uploads hard coded inside, or okay, that was not it, inside or create. Okay, so this is creating the actual link for us, for the client, to find it inside our server, so we can see this, okay, going to that URL as long as our server is up. So that is how we're going to tell Angular and React that this is an actual image stored in this location inside our server. So that should be it. Okay, video around 25 minutes. So let's continue in the next video with the last part that is going to be this update post, and see you in the next one.